Hello, Caroline. Welcome to Indulgeinwriting.
Hi,
It's great to have you
I'm
here.
delighted to be here.
Great.
Thank you.
Our sound is a bit going and coming, so hopefully we're okay. But I was just wondering, Caroline, we've got some members on Indulgent Writing who are really interested in publishing their children's books. So this is great to talk to you and to find out all about your writing life. So you might like to tell us about yourself and what you do.
Great. So my name's Caroline Busher. I'm a children and young adult author. I write historical fiction for children, and it's just something that I completely love. I have an MA in creative writing, which I completed a couple of years ago in UCD. And from there onwards, I got published. My first book got published, and I got a 3-book deal with Poolbeg, my publisher. I've got my books here. So I've got the first book was The Ghosts of Magnificent Children, and then The Girl Who Ate the Stars. And I have a third book coming out next year. But I also write other books, historical books for children. So this is my most recent one. It's called Votes for Women, the Irish Suffrage Movement. So I'm really excited about that. So basically for me, writing for children or young people, I basically write stories that I love that have children as the central characters. So that's how it all got started for me. I just love writing stories with children in them.
Brilliant. Wow. Imagine a 3-book deal. My goodness, that's everyone's dream. That's so inspiring for all of our members. So it's great. One of the things that we're finding is that some people are starting out on this journey. So it would be great to know, have you got anything to tell us that you wished you knew when you were starting out?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I love it. Basically, the things that I've learned so many things over the past few years, but some of the things that I've found is always stay true to yourself as a writer. Don't worry about fads and trends. I think when I was starting to write, I was thinking, what kind of books will I write? What direction will I go in? But then when I stopped doing that and just started writing stories completely for myself that I loved and almost forgot about the fact that I might hope to be published, I just was writing stories because I loved them. And when I did that, my own voice really came through and I allowed that to happen. And I think for me, doing the MA really helped because it meant that I could focus a year completely on my writing. I know that doesn't suit everyone and you don't need an MA to get a publishing deal or anything like that. But for me personally, that really helped. But I also found a really good community and network of writers. I'm based here in Wexford and I'm a member of Wexford Literary Festival. So meeting like-minded people, people joining writing groups, that's something I'd also recommend to join writing groups and to just like trust yourself and allow yourself to make mistakes, allow yourself to write something and then think, oh, it's not what I want to write and try something else. Because you'll often find that the thing you wrote will come up again in some other, like in 2 years' time. So nothing's ever wasted in writing.
Wow, that's excellent. Yeah, because we have so many people who are starting out, and I think you just think, oh, you have to write something magnificent each time, and it's great to know that. Yeah, and as you say, nothing is ever wasted. Don't delete, don't trash things. Keep
Yeah.
it. All the words are precious. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
lovely.
something else that I think is really important, and for me it would have helped when I was starting out, is that if somebody has 10 books published and if somebody has no books and they're just starting on their journey, there's completely no difference whatsoever. There really isn't. We all have to start with the blank page again. And that's one really good thing about the writing community in Ireland. Everybody is equal. We all see, it doesn't matter what stage of the journey you're at, we're all friends and it's a very welcoming community to be part of.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And everyone, as you say, is starting back at the beginning again with each book. So,
Yeah,
I always thought as well that writers would be quite, standoffish or wouldn't speak, but everyone's so welcoming. And if you
yeah.
do go to events or, different clubs or things, everyone wants to talk to you and wants to tell you how they did it and be supportive. So it's just,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to ask
And
questions.
I really believe in that. If you help someone along the way, someone will help you at some stage. So it's kind of like giving back to the people that helped you when you were starting out, to help nurture people and to support them on their journey is so important.
Totally, totally. And I think that's why where Writer's Wise came from and where this is sort of coming from as well.
Yeah,
So that's
brilliant.
really good.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything that you find difficult in writing? Is there anything that you find really hard?
Yeah, I think for me, the hardest thing is, and I think I've spoke to a lot of people who feel the same, is making the time to write. As simple as it sounds, it's sometimes the days go away from you, and before you realize it, like a few days could have not wrote, and that's when you can start to panic and go, "Oh no, I need to." So I think the hardest part for most writers that I've met is their own inner critic. And to just make sure you carve out that little bit of space for yourself is so important. And I know we've all got really busy lives, but even half an hour a day is fine. You don't have to sit down and write like a million pages or anything, but even half an hour, if that's all you can manage in a day when you're starting off, at least you've turned up and you've wrote something. And some days the words don't come. And I think, first of all, I used to think, oh, I should be writing something as soon as I got to my desk, and I'd feel more pressure on myself. But I've learned over the years that, creativity doesn't work like that. So if there's times when you go to write and you've got writer's block or words aren't coming, then read, or go for a walk in nature. Don't try not to pressure yourself too much, because I think it's our own internal voices that can put more pressure on us than anything else.
Totally, totally. So we're some of our group just want to write for pleasure. Caroline, have you frozen? Are you still there? Oh no.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you've kind of
Got me?
oh, there you're back. Great.
You can hear
Um,
me.
great. No,
Am I
it's
there? Great.
some of our group are just writing for pleasure, but others are writing in the hope to get published. So
Mm-hmm.
with your fabulous experience, what maybe 3 tips would you give to people who would like to go down the road of having their children's literature published?
Okay, so specifically for children's literature, I think if you're going to be writing children's books, you need to be reading them. And I absolutely love children's books, and I always recommend them to everybody, even if they're not interested in writing that for that genre, because they're so rich and so much scope for imagination with children's books. So I'd really advocate reading as many children's books as possible, to try and get the voice of the child in your head as well. Also, a really good tip for people is to, like I say, go to events where there are other authors. Find your people, find your tribe. I mean, the children's writing group in Ireland specifically is amazing. There's lots of events on. We've got Children's Books Ireland, who is the national body for children's books. They have a conference once a year, which is great to attend. So really get involved with the community. There's resources out there. There's people that can help you. There's lots of things like the course you're doing now. And really, even though it is a specific genre, writing for children, ultimately it's writing. So like, you're still writing a book, and you still want it has to be the same quality as any book, if not higher, I think, because you feel this real pressure when you're writing for children that you want to give them good literature. So so just keep going at it and believe in yourself. And if you don't get published straight away, always remember, like you were saying, some of your writers are doing it for pleasure. I feel that's so important, that even if you want to be published, it's always that pleasure that you get yourself. It's important that you feel happy, rather than getting too het up on the whole publication thing.
Yes, exactly. That's so important, is just to love what you do and to keep trying. Um,
Yeah.
have you any writing news that you'd like to share with us? Have you
Yeah,
anything coming up that
I've
you?
been so busy lately, because I've been really busy with this book coming out, The Girl Who Ate the Stars, which I'm really proud of, because it's kind of like a historical fiction book, and it's based around World War II. And it was inspired by a true story of 2 children. The children got evacuated to Wexford in Ireland. But at the time, in 1940, a bomb was dropped in a village of Campile. One of Hitler's bombs was actually dropped in Wexford. And it really inspired this novel. So I really am very proud of it, and I'm very excited about it. But so that's my main piece of news. And then obviously this one here that just came out yesterday, the Irish the Votes for Women book, which is very current now. And I think we kind of owe it to children, boys and girls, to know about the female heroes in Ireland their voices have been forgotten. Like, we often hear about the British or the English suffragette movement, but we don't hear much about the Irish one. So it's wonderful to an honour, really, to be commissioned to write this book for Poolbeg. I really enjoyed it, and learning about the women and how courageous they all were was phenomenal.
I see on your social media, Caroline, all the wonderful work you're doing with schools, and you're part of an amazing network of things you're doing. So you're doing lots of things. Would you like to
Yeah,
tell me
Yeah, so I'm the festival manager with Towers and Tales, which is a children's literary festival in Lismore Castle. It's a beautiful location in County Waterford. So we just had our festival there in May, and that was amazing. We had over 3,000 people turned up on the day, and we had wonderful authors there. Yeah, it's really good. So we had like Owen Colfer and Catherine Rundell. We had Celine Kiernan, Deirdre Sullivan, really amazing authors and illustrators as well. We had Chris Horton, and it's just brilliant, really. So I think for me, I've just loved the whole thought of getting a book into a child's hands and encouraging a child to read for pleasure. It's like where it all starts. I think if you become a reader as a child, you're a reader for life. So for me, it's so important to do that personally, aside from the whole writing thing. Just to encourage young people to read is essential.
Well, you're a great advocate for children's literature, and we really appreciated you taking the time to talk to us on Indulge in Writing. And I was saying to you that you might have to come back, and we'll establish, have we got any other questions for you, and we might have you back some other time soon. Is that okay?
I will be delighted to come back, and I just want to wish everyone in your group all the very best with their writing, and to just keep at it, because if you really love it, then your dreams will come true. I really believe that. And thank you so much, Sharon, for everything you do for the writing community and for inviting me on today. I really appreciate it. You really are a great ambassador yourself. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Caroline. Well, we'll leave it there. I'll try and stop you, and we'll definitely have you back again. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.